Hello, this is Michael, and welcome to the Learning to Program using the Godot game programming engine. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a quick version of the Guess My Number project. So I've got a slow version that I've got to upload, and you can watch that if you need some details, but this one is going to be very quick, and I'll probably talk while I go, but I probably won't explain everything. Alright, so I'm creating my project, I'm going to open it up, switch to 2D mode, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see my viewport. I'm going to create my base node, rename it to main. I'm going to add a node to that, I'm going to add a panel, resize and center it, and then I'm going to add to that a label, and that's going to be my header. And matter of fact, I'll go ahead and rename that. I'm going to add another one to the panel, and I'm going to add another label. It's going to be my, oops, do that. It's going to be my feedback, and I'm going to call that result, label result. Add another item to the panel, but this time I'm going to add a line edit, and that's going to be where the feedback goes. And one last thing, I'm going to add a button. Now I'm going to add some default text to all this so that I can see what's going on. So I'm going to say make guess on my button. On the line edit, I'm going to use the number 5 because that's, I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 10, and 5 is right in the middle. Result, so I'm going to just say something, just use ... so I can see it. And header, I'm going to call this Guess My Number. There we go. I'm going to resize some of these so I can see them. So let's go to rectangle, scale 3. That's good for the header. For this one, I need to boost it up a little bit too, so I'm going to go to 2, just like that. I'm going to move it over to the side, make this a little bit, I think I can scale this one as well, so let's try that. Scale, and let's go for 1.5, yeah, that looks good. And I'll scale up my button just a little bit, just like that. Alright, so that's got my scene set up. I'm going to save this with the default name, and finally let's link up the button action. So I'm going to go to my node signals pressed, and oops, I forgot to make a script. So I need a script to attach that to. I'm going to add it to my main, leave the defaults, create. I'm going to clear out this extra stuff because I don't need it, and I'll leave this right there, just like that. Save that script. I'm going to go back to my designer, back to my button, and add the pressed action event. I'm going to leave this just as the defaults, connect. Alright, and finally I'm going to add a print statement and say button pressed. And let's test this. If I run this, I'm going to select the default scene for my game right there, and make guess. Alright, button pressed. So I've got my button linked up to some code. Now I'm going to add the logic, and we need a variable to store the hidden number in. So I'm going to go var hidden number equals 3. I'm going to give it a default number. We're going to change that randomly on startup, so I'm going to use randomize function to change up my random seed, and then for the random number I'm going to go hidden number equals rand I, so that'll give me a random number, really large random number, and I'm going to use the modulus function to narrow it down to just 10. Then I'm going to add 1 so that I get a number between 1 and 10 instead of 0 and 9. And I'm going to come down here, and actually, let's go ahead and print that in the debug window. And then let's come down here, and I'm going to add my, I need to get the number from the line edit. Oh, I didn't rename that, so let's rename that to line edit guess. There we go. I'm going to get that value from there, so I'm going to go var player guess equals, and I'm going to access that with get node edit guess dot text, right? But that's going to return a string, and I really want it as a number, so I'm going to use the conversion function to convert that to a number. And now I can use my if statement and compare the hidden number to the player guess. So I can say if player guess equals the hidden number, and then I use my colon to start the the block after the if statement, and I want to set the text of the line label result to a message that tells them they got the number right. So I'm going to go get node line label result dot text. I'm going to use the assignment operator and just create a string called you guessed my number. Alright, so that's the case of when they guess the number correctly. Now let's do another if statement and do if the player guesses a number that's too high. Alright, so I'm just going to copy this to save some time, and I'm going to change it to your guess was too high. Let's change that to a period. And one last if statement for if it was lower than the hidden number. Paste that again and say your guess was too low. Alright, so everything looks good. Let's play the game and try it. Try it out, see what happens. So if I guess 5, number too low, so now I need to go up. So let's do 7, still too low. 8, you guessed my number. Alright, so the number was 8 that time. Let's try another one. So 5, ha! Got it on the first try. Try it again. Too high, so it's lower than that. Let's try 2, too low. You guessed my number. Alright. So there's the Guess My Number project, and we did it in just a few minutes. Alright, thanks.